Hey traders, welcome to Quad S Trading. If you short sell penny stocks, you must join our Discord and subscribe. You will be mind blown. Our strategies that we teach are extremely profitable, and our win rate is extremely high. And we post every single trade, win or lose. So let's start with APVO. So this is our VW scanner. This is for the VW strategy specifically, and that's the one that I do. And Sean, he does the VW and pivot and resistance because he's a full-time day trader. So APVO came here. The problem with this stock here is that there was no pump after, or not a big enough pump after the in the pre-market. So usually when the aftermarket pumps like this, you want to see a second bigger pump. This one didn't do it, but as you can tell, it comes back to all the lines that we draw, right? That we drew here, because this is what these stocks do. They pump and they all come back to our lines. Tilo, same thing with this one here. It was a pre-market pump, and unfortunately, it did not pump again. But as you can see, it came right back down, right? Now today it did another after-hour pump, but we're looking at the trades of the 7th. Then we have BNBX. BNBX. This one here was just very sloppy. The chart did not look good. Definitely not a trade. There was no volume anyways. 100, 200, 16, whatever. Not a trade. Yuli. This was the trade of the day. It was an unbelievable trade. So the morning of, it pumped 180% on 3 candles. It closed below the VWAP. It triggered a green entry, so that's a VW1. You enter on the close at 622, and you go at the end of the day at 341. This here was a massive win. If I just go like this, boop, boop, 341, it's 45%. So if you were to do an aggressive 10% account entry, which it's what we do on a VW1 and VW2, or you could play a little more conservative with a 5%. But if you did the full 10%, this is a 4.5 account growth in one trade, which is huge. Then we have BNAI. This one here is the same thing, just a pump, but the dollar figure is under $1.15, so we don't trade that, because the problem with stocks under $1 is you have to throw a lot of shares in there to make it worth your while, because you're chasing 10, 20, maybe 30 cents. So you got to put a lot of shares out there, and if it happens to go against you, it gets nasty real quick. And then we don't trade after one, so I'm not even going to look at these ones here. But just for the sake of it, let's have a look. Let's see what happened here. I didn't even look at this one. Same thing, under $1. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so that's the VW trade. So we had the one ULI, which was a huge trade. Now let's have a look at what Sean traded himself. Yesterday, we can start with this one here. So this is the one that we identified, ULI, or ULI, whatever you want to call it. And it was called out in the mastermind. So if you were to take this trade, because of the mastermind, this trade alone would have probably paid for a couple months of mastermind, for sure. Beautiful trade, amazing trade. Then we had TLPH that came up on the scanner. So he identified a resistance that's at 125. It came up, but it didn't go high enough for him to take a second entry, and that's what he likes doing. So Sean likes to average up and then have the stock tank. So because it doesn't average up, this one here was a very minimal win, but nonetheless, a win's a win. ZBN, this one here was huge. It did have a missed monthly pivot right here at 732, but he missed that entry. So he took it on the VWAP cross just to make sure that, hey, you know what, they're done pumping it. So essentially, the VWAP is an indicator that if the price is above, generally speaking, it's bullish, and that the price is under, it's bearish. So that's why the VW is very strict to the VWAP, because we want to make sure that the stock is bearish. And obviously, this one here, it tanked, and it actually tanked a little bit further down, I believe, in the after hours. Then we had GLTO. This one here is where Ross Cameron lost $175,000, but we made money on it, because, well, we short sell. And the beauty of short selling is you just got to wait for the stock to go up. It comes back down, and you take your position on the VWAP, and you close at the end of the day. Now, over here, see how it just wicked this. Look, see how nice that is? This here was a missed monthly pivot. Because it was $36, it's a little bit high for us, but it nailed it perfectly. That would have been a wild, crazy win if you would have nailed that one. Then we have COCH. This one here came up. Here is our blue circle. Just means that one candle pumped at least 15%. And then we have our green circles. So he joined in somewhere in the $2 mark. The only reason why this was not technically a VW trade is because institutional ownership was slightly too high. But you can still play them. Just size accordingly, right? If there's one red flag, just size down. And then boom, he got out at 150 for a nice little win. Then you have CISS, right? It pumps. Here's a couple halts. And then, so he played safe at 434 and got out at 351 for a nice little win there. And that's it for his trades. So, anyways, we post all of our trades, win or lose. If you have any questions, hop over to our Discord. We live trade every single Monday, unless it's a holiday here in Canada and it's not in the States. We won't be live trading on that Monday. We will postpone it a second day. But anyways, if you like what you see, head over to Discord and we'll see you there.